Ziggurats are unique architectural structures of ancient Mesopotamia, consisting of stepped pyramids. These monumental structures not only impress with their scale, but also reflect the complex beliefs and organization of society at that time. In this video, we will explore the main aspects of ziggurats, their significance in culture and religion. Ziggurats began appearing in Mesopotamia around 3000 BCE, during the early dynastic period. Initially, they were simple terraces that over time evolved into more complex and multi-tiered constructions. Their emergence was linked to religious practices and the desire to create impressive structures for worshiping the gods. Gradually, ziggurats developed, reflecting the growing political and cultural power of city-states such as Ur and Babylon. These structures were distinguished by their unique architectural design, consisting of several stepped levels that decreased in size as they rose upward. The main structure was a platform with multiple tiers, each supporting the upper temple. They were constructed from fired bricks, which provided strength and durability, and often featured corner pilasters and external staircases. Ziggurats also included internal storage areas and spaces for offerings. Plans and sizes varied depending on the period and region, but they were all divided into two main parts, the base and the temple complex. Additionally, they held profound religious significance for the ancient Mesopotamians. They served as temples dedicated to the gods and were places for conducting rituals and sacrifices. Each ziggurat was associated with a specific deity, and its summit usually contained a shrine for the god. These structures symbolized the connection between heaven and earth, representing a stairway for gods and priests to enter the realm of humans. They also served as pilgrimage sites, bringing people together in religious practice and reinforcing social bonds. Ziggurats were constructed using sun-dried mud bricks. These bricks formed the core of the structure, while the outer walls were faced with fired bricks, which provided strength and durability. Bitumen, a natural asphalt, was used to bind the bricks, making the construction waterproof. The construction was carried out in terraces, each of which decreased in size toward the top, creating a pyramid-like shape. Inclined ramps were used to lift materials, allowing workers to transport heavy loads to the height of the ziggurat. Ziggurats had a significant influence on the architecture of subsequent civilizations. Their distinctive stepped shape and the use of terraces were adopted and adapted by other cultures, including the ancient Persians and even the Maya in Central America. Despite differences in materials and styles, the core concept of the multi-tiered pyramid persisted. Persian temples, such as the towers of Tishin, Zoroastrian fire temples, were inspired by ziggurats and also featured a stepped design. In Central America, the stepped pyramids of the Maya, such as the Pyramid of Kukulkan, show a remarkable similarity to Mesopotamian ziggurats, despite being created millennia later and on a different continent. This architectural exchange reflects the enduring and universal appeal of the ziggurat as a sacred structure. The internal structure of ziggurats remains one of the least studied and most mysterious aspects of these ancient structures. Unlike Egyptian pyramids, which contained complex systems of corridors and chambers, ziggurats did not have internal rooms in the conventional sense. Instead, their primary function was more religious than residential or funerary. Ziggurats were constructed with massive clay bricks that formed the core and internal layers of the structure. The interior of a ziggurat often consisted of a solid mass of bricks, sand, and clay, which made the structure exceptionally sturdy. Some ziggurats featured stairs or ramps leading to the summit, where the temple was located, but there were no rooms or corridors within these steps and platforms. The temple at the top was where religious ceremonies and rituals were conducted, and the ziggurat served more as a foundation for this temple rather than as an independent structure. Ziggurats were primarily constructed using local materials, taking into account the available resources and the climatic conditions of Mesopotamia. The main construction material was clay bricks, which were abundant in the region. These bricks were made from a mixture of clay and straw and then dried in the sun. For internal structures, unfired bricks were often used, which was quicker and cheaper. However, fired bricks were applied to the outer walls and important elements of the ziggurats for their strength and weather resistance. These bricks were fired in special kilns, giving them a characteristic reddish hue and enhancing their durability. They provided stability to the structure and prevented erosion of the walls due to rain and wind. To bind the bricks, bitumen, a natural tar-like substance with water-resistant properties, was used. This material not only ensured a strong bond between the bricks, but also protected the walls from moisture, which was crucial in the hot and dry climate. In some cases, the walls were covered with glaze for decoration and enhanced protective qualities, giving the ziggurats vibrant colors and shielding them from decay. Ziggurats, being unique cultic structures, had a significant influence on the development of architectural traditions in subsequent eras. Their distinctive tiered form inspired the creation of stepped pyramids by the Maya and Aztecs in Central America, as well as influenced the construction of other religious and cultic structures in various regions. Additionally, the concept of ziggurats as bridges between the earth and the sky resonated in the architecture of temples and shrines, where height and layering became symbols of spiritual elevation and proximity to the divine. Archaeological research on ziggurats has provided crucial insights into the construction methods and religious practices of ancient Mesopotamians. Excavations at famous ziggurat sites like Ur and Babylon have revealed much about their structure and usage. These studies have enabled scholars to understand how ziggurats were built and how they functioned within ancient society. The restoration of ziggurats is a complex process involving the preservation and conservation of these ancient structures. Modern technologies, such as 3D scanning and laser measurement, are used to accurately reconstruct their original appearance. Restoration projects require precision and care to maintain historical accuracy and prevent further damage. Successful examples of restoration, such as the Ziggurat of Ur, demonstrate how modern methods can aid in preserving cultural heritage. These efforts not only maintain the physical structure of the ziggurats, but also ensure their longevity for future generations. Ziggurats played a significant role in the social structure of ancient Mesopotamian societies. These grand structures were often located at the center of cities and served not only as temples, but also as administrative centers. They symbolized the power and authority of the rulers who supported their construction and maintenance. Surrounding the ziggurats were districts where priests and other temple servants lived. These areas were often separate from the rest of the city and were controlled by the priests. Ziggurats served as centers for religious and civic events, such as festivals, rituals, and meetings, which strengthened social bonds and maintained public order. Additionally, ziggurats became centers for education and scholarly activities. Their libraries housed important texts and records used for teaching and administrative purposes. This made ziggurats key elements not only in religious, but also in social and cultural life in ancient Mesopotamia. The main rituals included prayers, offerings, and sacrifices made to appease the gods and seek their blessings. Mesopotamian priests and royal representatives performed these ceremonies to maintain the connection between the human and divine realms. Sacrifices, such as livestock or grain, were common practices and were carried out at the highest levels of the ziggurats. Additionally, ziggurats served as sites for astronomical observations and predictions. Their location and architectural features allowed ancient priests to track astronomical events and use them for forecasting future occurrences. Thus, ziggurats were not only religious centers, but also important elements in the scientific and cultural life of ancient Mesopotamia. Ziggurats left a profound mark on the art and literature of ancient Mesopotamia, serving as powerful symbols of grandeur and divine influence. Their depictions are frequently found in artistic works such as reliefs, statues, and clay tablets. These images highlighted their religious significance and majesty, while also serving as reminders of the connection between the earthly and divine realms. In literature, ziggurats are mentioned in myths. One notable example is the Epic of Gilgamesh, which references sacred buildings and temples inspired by real ziggurats. These works describe ziggurats as places where key events and interactions with the gods take place, underscoring their central role in religious and cultural life. Over time, many ziggurats have suffered destruction and lost their original form. Both natural and human factors contributed to their ruin. Climatic changes, such as heavy rains and droughts, along with erosion and the passage of time, adversely affected the state of the ziggurats. Additionally, wars and conquests, such as invasions by the Scythians and other conquerors, also played a role in the destruction of these monuments. During periods of conquest and conflict, many ziggurats were damaged or partially destroyed. However, despite this, ziggurats continued to attract the interest of archaeologists and historians. Excavations and research conducted in recent decades have revealed many aspects of their architecture and function. Modern efforts in preservation and restoration have allowed for the conservation of some of these historical monuments, enabling contemporary researchers to better understand their role and significance in ancient Mesopotamia. Ziggurats have left a significant legacy that continues into the modern world. Contemporary research and archaeological excavations help us gain a deeper understanding of the technologies and construction methods of ziggurats, as well as their social and religious significance. Numerous reconstructions and virtual models of ziggurats allow people from around the world to appreciate their grandeur and complexity. Ziggurats have also found a place in popular culture. For example, in the film Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, 1989, there are scenes inspired by the architecture of ancient buildings, though the film itself is not about ziggurats. In the game Civilization VI, ziggurats are depicted as part of ancient wonders that influence the development of civilizations. And that concludes our exploration of ziggurats. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to catch future episodes. Leave your comments and share your thoughts on ziggurats or suggestions for future topics. Your feedback is very important to us.